grateful to God. Today we give thanks unto the Lord. That is good to do. You want to be thankful on your way out, on your way in. That is what God commands. And without thankfulness, you won't even know what you have. You won't appreciate what you have. You'll fall into a mindset of the world, just wanting more, not knowing what you have, and thinking you don't have while you have. And it pleases the Father, just like we know it pleases us when people thank us. And what's the effect of pleasing the Father? You get the favor of the Lord, Him to shine upon you, His face to look on you, and His countenance to be bright. The Lord smiling on you, that's a whole different life. But it takes someone who understands to live like that. We live in darkness, we don't understand. Or not we, but the unsaved, those in the world. And God tells us this in Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusts in man, and makes flesh his arm, and whose heart departs from the Lord. So we trust in the world, trusts in the world, in man, and all his technological achievements and all the books that they've written. And so what happens? They trust in it and they depart from the Lord. They don't have a right understanding. They don't know the way to go and how to go. Life is a journey, and we go off not having enough food, not having enough wisdom, and we go confident in that we're going to make it, and you're not. You don't have what you need for that. So we have Apostle Paul telling the people that judge by their sight, that look at the winds and that reference their own personal experience, and they're confident. They say, we can make this journey. It'll be prosperous. We can go. And Paul, who hears from God, says, not quite. No, there's higher wisdom. And you have someone here who has access to that. And so let me speak to you what God says. According to this wisdom, it's not so. Despite what it seems, it supersedes all that. It overrides all that. It's over all that. And so we're seeing the order. Oh, it really did turn out to be true what Paul said. And so, yeah, you can sometimes for a while go by the natural, but then you see sometimes it doesn't. That's why we're surprised and afraid. We believe in things like the Murphy's Law. We develop sayings, you just never know. You never know. You just don't know, because that's been our experience. So we're confident, and at the same time we're scared. Confident, and at the same time we're anxious. And we might even admit, I'm a little anxious, but we might not admit. And so, you're afraid. That's fear. No, I'm not afraid. I'm not fearful. So you mean to say that you're fearless? You're fearless and anxious? Well, no, if you put it that way, that kind of doesn't make sense. So, yeah, sometimes we have to really dig into what we're saying. What do we mean? And realize there's other things in there. When you say you're anxious, yeah, you can acknowledge, well, yeah, I'm a little afraid. There's some fear in there. There's flavors, there's little spices. Can you taste that? There's a little bit of this in there. And God helps us to discern those things. You're feeling this. You're feeling a little bit of rejection right here. You're experiencing this, and He can help you recognize patterns and help curses break from your life, things that you suffer, patterns from your ancestors, from your previous generations, from your society, mindsets that you've picked up from television, from Hollywood, these vain things that God doesn't like, that He's not pleased with, but he loves you enough to show you how to be more pleasing to God if you don't trust in man. If you trust in God and his ways and his leading, and you spend time in his presence and take some of the world out of your schedule. Don't work as much. Don't focus so much on this and that and this and that you do in your life. Maybe it means a little bit less of the chores or the errands or the relationships, or cut something out. Something. What is it? He lets you decide. Okay, what he wants to see you doing that. Make some room for me. Let me come in. Make some room for me. Yeah, you're willing to. Oh, guests are coming over. We got to vacuum the house. We got to move the furniture. We got to make everything in order. We got to dust the place. We got to make it smell nice. Okay, we're ready for the guests. They can come in. You can do that for people. But you won't make preparations for God. We're lazy. I've been to church once and God didn't show up. So I quit. No, I went to church twice, and I didn't meet God. So there's no God. There's no God. No, make room in your schedule, in your week, in your days. Make room in your mornings, in your routine. What are you gonna do? And God tells you, it could be good, beneficial if you seek me early. Look, oh, who else sought me early? Oh, and what happened to him? And who else? What does he say? 7 times. And what does he say? 3 times. Oh, look at these people. What did they do? And what ought you to do? What can you do? What will you do? What's your choice? And so you do that, then you can be equipped for your journey. Life's a journey. You need the right amount of food and supplies and materials on your boat. You need the right amount of pitch for the boat to be sealed so that water doesn't leak in, so that you can make the journey. Only with God will you have all that you need, the right thoughts, the right, you need comfort to last, to be able to get to the end. You trust in man, then Noah was someone who trusted in God. So we have a contrast. This man, he saved himself and his family through the Lord. Everyone else, they trusted in whatever they trusted in, marriage and partying and building buildings and husbandry and gardening and metalworking and music playing, and they're all drowned. They all drowned. Because, no, how could that be wrong? That's the way. There was never a flood that flooded the whole earth. Jesus never came and judged the whole earth, and then the time for earth was done. The phase of this life was done. That never happened. So it will never happen. But it did. It did. It happened, and Noah survived. Those that hear from God, they survive. He made it. He made it. And everyone else who didn't, who trusted in something else, though it worked for years, for their whole life, yet now in this critical time when it's time to shift, they couldn't hear it, they couldn't make it. Only Noah enters the ark and is sustained in the time of God's wrath. When God shows people, hey, this is how I feel about how you live and what you've done and what you think. I was not expressing it. I was holding it in for all this time. But are you ready for when I release the judgment and the consequence? Who's going to reap mercy? Those that sow in righteousness. Noah. And I think we're close to that here in Jeremiah. Chapter 15. Then said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight, let them go forth. He has certain people that he regards, that he listens to. And in other places, we're going to see him mentioning other people. I think it's Daniel, Noah, maybe, who was the other person? Jonah? Job? Yeah, he said, no, I'd only save them. We want to be those people that hear God, that is close to God, that trusts God, that God approves of, that God is pleased with, and not like this. Cursed be the man that trusts in man. Man and all the things man makes, all the things that you can see, that you can touch, that you can immediately, like a microwave, get now, but is it good in the long run? That trusts in man and makes flesh his arm, and whose heart departs from the Lord. So you've gone away, you've gone off, you've set sail, and you will sink. Because that's not the way. That's not how life works. That's not life. For he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places, in the wilderness, in a salt land and not inhabited. Blessed is the man that trusts in the Lord, in whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreads out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat comes, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? God is telling us this because we trust in man, we trust in ourselves, we trust in our heart, we follow our heart, we listen to our heart, and we do what is right in our own eyes, in our own sight, in our own mind. And we don't acknowledge when it comes to ruin, when it fails. We do it again. I will seek it yet again, the drunkenness of my own heart. I'm gonna do it again. But you keep failing. What comes out of there, you take and you do, and it fails. And so we have the principles, working principles. But yeah, acknowledge your fault, then you could find the way, the truth. We can apply it elsewhere. Oh, that restaurant, their food is no good. But the way we live is like, you go back there and I'll order this again. I'm sure this time it'll be good. Oh, it's still bad. I don't like this food. Oh man, I can't eat it. It's really bad. It's hard to even choose. So the smell of it, is this rotten? You guys use fresh ingredients? This is like really bad. But I'll be back. Why would you come back? Especially twice it failed. Yeah, but that's how we live with our own lives, the decisions that we make. Yeah, no, because it's you. You're not gonna reject yourself, and yet God says, no, you should do that. You should do that. Because your heart is deceiving you, is wicked, is desperately wicked. Don't say yes to yourself. So this is something that God says often and wants to let us know, because we really are stubbornly reject that and don't believe that and refuse it. We don't know the depth to our lies, how much we lie. We're such liars. So some people, they know, they've seen, okay, I messed up, I can acknowledge that much. So some victim mentality, and they go, okay, I can see a counselor, maybe they'll help me figure out what's wrong with me. And yet they can't, even with that, because we're liars. We don't know. And I suppose it's on a spectrum, because some things we lie, we know it's a lie. Some things we lie and we think it might be a lie. We can kind of suspect I might be lying, or you can kind of feel. Depends on how much you want the truth. Because we want to get better. We want to be better. But it's what I keep saying, we just don't want the way. We want the thing without paying. We're thieves. Everyone wants everything. but they're mad. They hate the price tag. Why is it behind glass? Why can't I just have it? And so people are mad. People see and they're jealous. They hate the rich. Why do you have it? And that they stop. You know, if you investigate further, it just makes them more mad because they're unwilling. Why do you have it? Hard work. What? Okay. Yeah, but you don't want to do it. What school did you go to? Okay, let me go to that school. I quit. This is hard. Yeah, most don't want to put in the work. They want it, and they're jealous, and they hate it. They hate that it's there. They hate that other people have it. And they say, well, you can just do this and go to this school and do that for some years and then get that. Let me just stay here and hate it. And so there's a way. But yeah, they hate that it's so expensive. The price tag, you can get money. I don't want to. I just want the thing. Can I have it? Entitlement. So you still want it. Not willing to put in the work for it. Same with, so that's with things, right? Diamonds, thousands of dollars, and a better self, even a better self. So how can I be better? Well, you'd have to acknowledge that you do this. So even Alcoholics Anonymous, you know, they used to call him the God. They used to say, we need help from God, like the Christian God, to help us out of this. And so I believe that's what I read in the history, that's how it started, when people were overcoming their alcoholic addictions. And then later they changed it into from the God to a God. As long as you have a higher power, call on a higher power, because they acknowledge that we do need help from outside of us. It's not in me. I need help. But they perverted it. No, you can't just need a higher power. You can't just get any help from anyone, from outside sources. You need to know that the help that you're getting from the entity is good. And they say, no, so that's idolatry. As long as I just get over this alcoholism, I'm fine. I don't care if it's the true God or not. Oh man, you're going to be messed up. You're not going to be okay. You can't just chase a certain result. You need to pursue God. That's what God says. Pursue God, not things. Don't worship the created, worship the Creator. So that's why we are so miserable, and we fail at life. We fail in front of God, and we fail at the judgment, because we're idolatrous. And God is saying over and over, He's charging us, you guys are idols, you guys are idolatrous, you guys love idolatry, you guys love something, you guys love anything other than God. And so He leaves us to a reprobate mind, to destruction, to deception. Our own heart deceives us. So yeah, you go to a counselor, you try to get better, and yeah, they could try to help you see yourself, acknowledge what happened to you and what you ought to do, but you can't take it. You won't even be able to, because you're going to lie to them, what you say. You're going to lie about your assessment. You just can't acknowledge the truth. You're in bondage to your own self. You have an enemy in your own body, your own heart. Is going to say, no, we're not that wicked. No, that's not really the issue. You're going to go down a path until it gets a little too close to the heart, until you're about to change, and then you're going to deflect and say, actually, no, that's not what I said. That's not what I mean. It's actually a different issue. Can we change the topic? You won't have access to change, to betterment. Your own heart is against you. So what hope do you have? Your own heart is lying to yourself. What are you going to do? Cut your heart out? You're going to die. we're in a hard case. This is sad. How do I get out of this? You need God. God needs to take that heart out of you. Only God can do that, where he can take your heart out of your body and you still live, and he puts a new heart in you, and then you can live. Heart that's given from God, so that you can have the right mind, so that you can have a heart that doesn't lie, a heart from God. So even in the secular world, they understand this. That's why when I was going through the classes for counseling, and I was seeing and learning, oh, this is what they do, just like most people are familiar with when they see it in the popular depictions of it. You might ask the counselor, I'm having this problem, so what's wrong with me, shrink? And the doc is going to say, well, what do you think? And they might be frustrated, or they might go down the path. No, but I asked you, you're the doctor. And they're going to say, yeah, but what do you think? What do you think? Why do they do that? Why do they do that? So in counseling, they don't help. Even this in the secular angle, they acknowledge that. They know that you can't just help people. You can't, especially when it comes to the psychology, dealing with the soul. You can't just help people. You can't, because they're going to, and even the Bible says that they're going to rend you. They're going to scorn you. The wise will receive it, but everyone's foolish. They're going to bite you. They're going to hate you. I'm not that. That's not what I am. Oh, that's not what I need to do. That's not my problem. So if you're dealing with the body, the nurses and the doctors that deal with the physical body, they can help. They can put the Band-Aid on you, and you're willing. You're willing. Yeah, cut me up, doc. Look into me. Yeah, listen to my heartbeat. Yeah. Give me the medicine. I'll pop it. I'll eat it. Well, what's the treatment I need? I'll put the ointment on. I need put some tape. Okay, I'll put the tape on. Yeah, they're willing. The body, but the soul, no, they're more resistant. No, don't touch me. Not that. They're more resistant. No, you offended me. I'm suing you. I was trying to help you. No, they're gonna refuse it. They're gonna refuse it. It's a lot. The heart is deceitful. So even in the counseling world, what's their approach? What do they do? Questioning. Why do they have that approach? Because they got to go around you. They know, they acknowledge, yeah, no, you're not going to be willing. Even if you came to them acknowledging, I need help, they know, okay, but as soon as we start, you're going to be offended. So yeah, even in the secular, they're going to ask you questions, go around, because to put it simply, it's like, yeah, you have a flat tire, and I might say you have a flat tire. So if this is a literal situation, you might say, oh, thanks, I didn't know. You fix it. But if it's your soul, then I'm going to say, you have a flat tire, and you'll be offended. What? You have a flat tire? How does that help your flat tire? I might not. And I know why you're saying that, because you're defensive. You think I'm condemning you. You think I'm judging you. But it's a flat tire. You have a flat tire. It's an easy fix. We can fix it. But because it's a soul, no, you're going to pretend it's not there. No, I don't. No, you do. Everyone has some measure of flatness. Why are you judging me? I'm not judging. I'm trying to help you, right? So that's why we don't go that route. So he might say, no, I don't. And you don't push the issue. You might ask some other questions. And so to some extent, God deals with us at that level too. You might say, you might just acknowledge can we acknowledge the effects of a flat tire? So you're driving and you notice, I'm not getting as good gas mileage these days. It seems like you're going to the gas station often. I wonder why. And you just kind of provoke them. You kind of have them answer, yeah, I checked this, I checked that. Have you checked this? Have you checked that? Oh, those are fine too. I wonder where else you could check. And you just kind of suggest, you kind of lead in a very gentle way. And they say, well, I haven't checked my tires. That could be a good idea. And you don't tell them. You let them find out. Yeah, I think I have a flat tire. Oh, you're a genius. You found that out. And so that's how they do. That's how they do. Because yeah, we can't accept the help. We're liars. We're liars. We lie. And so that's to a measure, right? That's to a measure that they can help them. But Jesus says, no, I make you whole. I make you whole. He might help you with a flat tire, but what if your engine is wrong? What if the car that you have is wrong? What if it's a deeper problem than that? And what if you got 10 issues? And yeah, at this pace, are we going to be able to address the things to actually have a prosperous life, to actually have a functioning car enough to make the journey to get to the destination? So God makes you whole. He takes you beyond that. So interesting thing, let's see if I could quickly cover this, is in counseling, one of the prevailing, the dominant methodologies these days is what they call it CBT, which is, the T just stands for therapy, so we can just focus on the CB. The CB just stands for thinking and behaving, cognitive behavior. So your thoughts and your behavior. That's just a name for it. But what it actually is someone went to Asia and they experienced Buddhism and they liked it. They said, oh, so this actually can work in therapy. So they came back to the States and they codified it. They just wrote down, they studied it and they broke down the elements of it and then just put it into a counseling program. But what is it? At least one thing. So one thing about like some mechanisms in Buddhism that this lady kind of extracted from it was basically distancing from your emotion, because there's some usefulness of that, right? So she saw that, acknowledged that, and said, "Oh yeah, so that would be helpful." So there's strategies and there's steps on how to do that, and sometimes it's just a thinking pattern, or it's just statements of like not being the anger and just acknowledging, oh, so I don't have to be angry just because I feel angry. You can acknowledge, oh, I'm having an angry emotion. And so that's just very simple, but a way that works of when you train people and walk through them and kind of rinse and repeat, you could help kids or teenagers, adults through that. Say, oh, what you feel? And, oh, you did that? Okay, well, what is anger anyway? And the next time you feel it, try this, try saying this, try thinking this. It's just anger. Oh, that's anger. Different ways to do it. You can say, visualize it. Oh, it's over there. Or, oh, I'm having it. Just acknowledge it in your thoughts. But I don't have to be it. I don't have to act in it. So there's that. But Buddhism itself alone as a religion, they have that in there as part of their practice. But it doesn't go so far as what it became with CBT as a therapy. So she kind of added more into it. When it becomes a therapy, it's like it has a more direct motive, a purpose, right? Hey, let's help you. Let's use this to try to get you further, to progress you along. Because Buddhism itself, just as a religion, it doesn't really do that. It's just like, well, here, it's available. It's like you get a free hammer with your smoothie. It's like, so if you know what to do with that, do it. If you don't, well, we're not really gonna tell you or urge you or motivate you. Just do with it what you will. If you know how to use it, use it. So it's like that. But why when she brought it to the States, to an American system, was it more purpose based? So it might be because of the Christian influence in this country, though the founding people were not purely Christian, it had that influence on the country. Yeah, this understanding that no, you should change, and no, let's motivate you, let's help you to get better, not just have the availability, and not just sit around. No. Actually address what's going on. But of course, she's not going to incorporate that. She doesn't understand that she's being influenced by some of the Christian, the culture that's influenced by Christianity, also influencing what she's doing. So it's not a Christian model, it's not a Christian practice. Though many Christians might think that that's what they should do or want to do, because yeah, it helps people, let's do that, it works, let's do that. But God is complete. You could get everything you need from church. You don't need to become a therapist. You don't need to go to a counselor. They won't make you whole. Jesus made people whole. And yet we're leaving Jesus and going to study this method of counseling, or study this book, or study this theology or philosophy. We're going elsewhere when Jesus said, no, I did it. And Christians themselves, or professing Christians themselves, are saying, no, we need more. We need to add. No, church is enough. Jesus is enough. This word is enough. God is enough. He will make you whole, every whit whole. And in our unbelief, we look to other things. We trust in man and the devices of man. He said, no, you guys devise wickedness. Your devices are wicked. Trust in God. And we don't know what that means. Because we see other people who say that, who say they're doing that, and they're doing this and God and. They pursue God and other things. They communicate willingly or unwillingly that God is not enough. So God is looking for a people who will trust him, who will rely on him, who will stand on his word and demonstrate to the world, no, God is enough. Look, God is enough. God makes you every whit whole. Jesus can. Jesus does. He didn't use anything else. He didn't rely on anything else but obedience to God, doing the will of the Father. And look what happened. Look what the effect of that was. And so when we mix other things in, there's failure, there's foolishness, there's wickedness, there's things that turn sour, things that just don't quite reach its intended effect. Yeah, because you can't do it that way. You can't mix it. It has to be God. God. You can't be insecure in that. You can't have any unbelief saying it might not work. We got to have this backup plan just in case. We got to. And so we're back into bringing the heart back in. No, God and my thoughts, God and my heart, God. I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. As the partridge sits on eggs and hatches them not, so he that gets riches, and not by right, shall leave them in the midst of his days, and at his end shall be a fool. So there it is again. Jesus told us that parable of the foolish man building another barn and storing it up with all his riches and failing before God. In his eyes, he thought he made it. And then God said, hey, the bell rings. And you're surprised because your focus was off. You thought it was that. How can it not be that? Because money answers all things. Money can buy me security and a blanket and CNAs and caretakers and a fancy toilet that can take care of me and change me. And yeah, it can buy all the things. All the things. A little thing that helps me go up the stairs when I'm old. And yeah, I'm set for life. I'm set. And then you die, and then God judges you as a failure. Because you trusted in all that. You trusted in all that. So God is saying, hey, so you don't have to go that route. You don't have to be that surprised like that man. I'm telling you about that man, so you don't have to be that man. You can be someone who already knows, who sees that coming. Oh, so at the end there's that. So let me prepare for that. Let me store up treasures in heaven. Let me get ready for that, because that is after this. So if I store up money here and focus on that and chase that, I won't be prepared for what comes after. So yeah, wisdom knows what comes. Wisdom knows the future. So those that trust in God, those that look to God, they're wise. They will prevail. They will succeed. They will have the victory. And only them. He's spelling it out. Look, the fools know that they get riches and then they can't even eat it. They look at it, that's all they do, and they can't even enjoy it. You die as a fool. A glorious high throne from the beginning is the place of our sanctuary. O Lord, the hope of Israel, all that forsake you shall be ashamed, and they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken the Lord, the fountain of living waters. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for you are my praise. So, yeah, we have to respect how dangerous I am to myself. God wants to encourage us not to trust in myself. Those that acknowledge, no, I can't do anything. I don't know anything. They're in better position to rely on God. To rely on God. And they experience God. They experience God. Yeah, you sound like a man of God. Yeah, well, what am I? What is man? Yeah, what can I do? You don't trust in yourself. How is it that you just quoted verbatim the Psalms? Yeah, because that's what the men of God said. And they had access to God because they trusted in God. Their strength comes from God. Their hope comes from God. Their breath comes from God. Their thoughts come from God. Their actions come from God. They've emptied themselves and said, God, fill me now. I'm so empty. I acknowledge I can't do anything. I can't know anything. I don't know anything. Really, what am I? Yeah, and then God can come in that vessel. God will use that man that doesn't pretend. No, I still can. Oh, really? You still have to come to yourself. And so we think we can by ourselves without God, then yeah, he lets us set sail and crash. And those who are looking to God and say, God, help. My help is in you. Who look to God, who live like that daily, no, they're going to make a prosperous journey. They're going to go. They're going to get. They can go out and come in because they go with God. They know, I can't do any of this without God. I lied to myself. That's my situation. I live with my enemy right here. I need help. I'm in a dangerous case. I need help. That's why people call 911. Oh, there's a thief in the house. Oh, someone's in the house. Go check. I heard some noise downstairs. Oh, someone's there. It's actually like a gang of them. Oh man, we're in trouble. Oh man, they got weapons. Oh, yeah. Who are you gonna call? You're gonna call for help. You're not gonna Say, I got this. You have a gun? No, no. I got this. Yeah, you don't got this. No, they're in the house. It's in your heart. It's in your body. It's in your mind. Is the disease is that deep? The enemy's in you, and you think you got it. I can do it. You're gonna fail. Your own self is trying to kill you, sabotage you, your efforts, and you experience it. That's why is bipolarism a thing? Why are people bipolar? Well, even if you're not, even if you don't have that diagnosis or don't think you are, why is it that you still do measures of those things? That you hesitate, go back and forth, that you are yeah, like we said, anxious and confident. Um, one thing one day, the other thing the other day. Unstable, unstable. You don't know yourself, though you say you do. You don't. Evidenced by the outcome. Look, look, look. And so God is calling that out. He's saying the same thing. Look, who can acknowledge? Who can give up? Who can acknowledge the faults of their own ways, their sinful ways, and say, God, I am wrong. I'm wrong. I'm not right. The truth is not in me. It's in you. So we want to make ourselves available because of that, knowing that, following through. Okay, so therefore, what must you do? Make room for God. Get rid of all that stuff that came from your ideas. You did that because you thought. You did that because you thought. You made yourself that because you thought. Man, or he thought it, and they're just a man too. And so why wouldn't I? Well, yeah, you got every reason to. Yeah, you can take that out of your life. You can remove that. You can change that. You can make some room, make some space for God to come in. Stop doing that. Stop going there. Stop doing that. And choose God. God, you can take this time. You can fill this time. You can have this mind. You can have these hearts, these hands. You can have my eyes. Let me look to you. Let me hear you. Let me be in your presence. Let me be in church. Let me go to you. So you acknowledge, yeah, me, all the things I did, all the things I thought I wasn't, is all dung, dung, dung. Throw it away. Count it right. Assess it right. And value God. Love God. Then you can start seeing change. Stop trusting in yourself. Trust in God. Trust in God. Wait on Him. Serve Him. And then you can see as you make room. You gotta clean the mirror to see yourself. You gotta clean the window to see outside. Yeah, we have blockages because we don't make space. We don't make room for God because we trust in ourselves. So let us depart from that and go run to the Lord in Jesus' name.